All right, Miles, let's go down to Austin and talk Texas football. This is a team that's, obviously on the rise. They got Arch Manning of an elite recruiting class. There's a lot of strong momentum in this program, but we've got some news that could be just as big. We're going to lead in like that for Texas going forward.
Yeah, Nick. And like you said, big time news. Everything's bigger in Texas. It's the recruits. You hear Arch Manning's name plastered everywhere. There's tons of big time talent, seems like, heading Texas' way. But there's also some smaller guys, some guys that flew under the radar, some quality depth signings. And those are the guys we want people to tell us about right now. Texas fans, let us know in the comments below. Who do you think has kind of flown under the radar? Texas has had massive national attention due to Arch Manning signing and all of these big time recruits coming. But we might have missed somebody that you think is really going to make an impact on this team. Let us know in the comments below who's kind of flown under the radar. But nonetheless, Nick, I think we have another big time signing for Texas.
Yeah, 100%. This is the time of year, minus that the real lifeblood of quality programs reveals itself. Because obviously, everyone wants the 5 stars. Everyone wants, obviously, the Arch Mannings, the running back Baxter, which Texas was able to pull in 2 massive moves. But I think it's some of those second-tier recruits, flipping guys from bitter rivals, those depth guys, those guys that'll develop potentially into superstars that I think really separate the elite top-tier programs versus the second also rans. And I think Texas is heading up into that elite ranking according to his latest report from USA Today. Reading from the report here, Miles, the Texas Longhorns have added yet another significant piece to their already elite recruiting class of 2023. This morning, Red Oak 4-star safety Warren Roberson announced that he's flipped his commitment from TCU to Texas. So obviously Roberson Mize will play for the Texas Longhorns going forward. This guy's a 4-star safety. He's a very obviously high quality athlete, will fit in really well with the UT program. The thing I really like about this signing, Mize, and I kind of alluded to it a second ago, is that it's these kind of guys, the 3- and 4-star athletes, whether they become immediate impact players or take time to develop, those are the guys that really set it apart. I've always, when you look at games where Alabama or now Georgia plays, right, anytime there's sort of an injury or something like that, where the star player, the star safety in this case, who's the same position, gets hurt, the next guy on the field, what is he? He's always like a 4-star. Right. And that level of depth just overwhelms other teams, just because when you knock a great player out and he's replaced by a 4-star recruit, you're just outgunned at that point. And that's exactly what Roberson here can bring. He's just at least, that's the bare minimum. At least he's a depth guy that can come in and be an elite level athlete, adding depth to that secondary. Or he could also develop and become the next Roy Williams. Right. There is a lot of things potential here. And I think Texas is handling this the right way, building just not at the top of the class with elite guys like Manning and Baxter, but maybe potentially some high quality depth guys or developing into superstars either way, with guys like the safety here from Red Oak. Give me your thoughts on everything UT right now, Miles, and the signing in particular.
Yeah, Nick, I love Roberson. He looks really strong to me. He's got a big frame on him. He's 6 foot 180, but he's also pretty quick. Ran track in high school. It was like 11-second 100-meter guy. So he's got the speed on him. He's very, very quick, Nick. But you think, okay, this guy's a 4-star. He had a lot of offers, a lot of stuff going his way. Why does he sign at Texas? And I'm going to tell you why, Nick. Because you think of Texas, you think safety. You may not, but I'm going to tell you why you should. And that's because you think of guys like Deshaun Elliott, who's balling out for the Lions right now, former Baltimore Raven, had a lot of talent. The Joker at Texas, very good player. You've got Kenny Vaccaro, another Texas staple, really great safety who played there. Earl Thomas, really, really big all-star type safety there. And Nick, believe it or not, there's 8, count it, 8 current Texas safeties in the NFL at this moment in time. So there is a lot of talent at safety position in Texas, and they're very, very good at developing NFL level talent. And that's what this guy is. He is a NFL level talent safety who can potentially get himself there. He's got the speed, he's got the size, he's got the intangibles. And, he's a very versatile player. I think he's going to go to the right place in Texas and be developed, and he's going to be an absolute superstar on the field, Nick. What do you think about Roberson? What do you think he can add to this team? Do you think he's going to be the next, Earl Thomas, the next Kenny Vaccaro for Texas?
Yeah, so first on a backup, I said he could be the next Roy Williams, I believe earlier. I was thinking Roy Williams, wide receiver, obviously confusing him with Roy Williams, safety, who played at Oklahoma. All Texas fans, I apologize. That's a big mistake on my part, getting those two guys mixed up. Of course, I was not talking about Roy Williams, Oklahoma. I would never make an Oklahoma reference on a Texas video. I know better than that. But Miles, I think this guy has that kind of ability. I think obviously anyone who plays at that level of high school football in Texas and grades that highly on the recruiting scale has elite level talent. And to get the offers that he did, obviously was committed to TCU, who college football playoff, college football national championships final performer, right? This is an elite level program. TCU was that way under Gary Patterson. So this is not some guy that kind of was just, an under the radar recruit. This guy is a legitimate stud, a legitimate player. But when you look at overall this entire Texas program, Miles, I think a lot of people forgot that if you remove Alabama and Georgia from the recruiting rankings, the clear-cut number one, Miles, is Texas, right? So Texas right now sits at number 3. The difference between Texas in terms of recruiting rankings and number 4 is about 17 points. This is according to 24/7 Sports. That's the difference between number 4 and number 12. So that's how far Texas is from the rest of the pack. Texas is making that leap in the recruiting game, Mice, to join the likes of the Alabamas and the Georgias. They're putting everybody else in the rearview mirror. And this signing here, this flip, I should say, is further indication that Texas is this much closer to being a preeminent college power once again.